we've been here before, but what is new is you're getting closer just based on kind of what Fran's saying. Like, we're in a really charged society right now where people think that just talking about having a fine weekend with your husband who happens to be also a man and you're a male teacher, that means you're grooming kids now just because you're talking about your weekend and you're a threat, you need to be taken away. And some people want to come to their kids' school armed with guns in that scenario. So having all this book banning under this particular political discourse, I hope it passes like the other ones have, but it's definitely a scary extra dynamic to it as well.
Yeah. It's definitely fueled by an element of vigilantism that I don't want to be too Pollyannish about the past, but I don't think was there in previous panics. I think it was more about more of a sort of case-by-case reaction rather than a whole, because they again, with the libs of TikTok, groomer stuff, and QAnon, they've built a kind of ecology of a moral panic that can sustain itself much longer and is about a bigger program where everything gets lumped in to this woke discourse.
And just like that, the social media aspect, I think, feeds into that vigilantism, because then anyone with a cell phone and an axe to grind
is a snitch. And you said, by the way, this was pioneered by the Koch brothers with campus reform, where they would, if you look back at all the original like cancel culture panics around, banning vagina monologues because it wasn't inclusive of trans women, or any of these kind of one-off stories that go super viral that even make it to like John Chait columns in the Washington Post and all that stuff. If you go back and you find the origins of every one of those stories, they're first broke by campus reform, which is a Koch brothers snitch network where you get monetary rewards by like finding wacky college students or college professors. Jeez. And it's the same model with
Charlie Kirk. Turning Points USA does the exact same thing with a teacher watch list.
They nutpick. Yeah, exactly. And that element of basically having a spying regime where you where you intimidate anyone who's gay, anyone who's trans, especially, again, anything that may approach anti-racism, that may veer into something that may appear, again, on a lot of the CRT stuff. It's like, oh, can you believe this DEI manual that said this? And it's like, yeah, but again, sometimes it can be like, okay, maybe that's not the best, whatever, but you're just out of a 10,000 documents, you found one. Like, you can always do that. Yeah. And that element of vigilante, basically, it's kind of a franchise model, right? It's how McDonald's grew. You sort of empower everyone to be their own right-wing demagogue.
Yes, and we have to remember the money behind this, and it comes from the charter school movement, and it comes from the all the forces that want to privatize education. Betsy DeVos, who actually since leaving the Department of Education, said she doesn't believe the Department of Education should exist. That was a recent quote, and I was looking into Moms for Libraries, all these fucking Big Little Lies white bitches who do not read anyway, all these DeVos wannabes. I'm sorry, but these parents don't read. Can we just underscore? They'd have no idea. Catcher in the Who? What? To Kill a What?
Well, I want to be clear here for any class reductionist listening who think that the woke thing is make no mistake that if you look at the fine print of what DeSantis thinks, they think labor and union organizing is woke. It falls well within the paradigm of woke. And they want to go after teachers' unions, who they believe is the fundamental bulwark of their anti-woke agenda, which has obviously been part of the charter school program for 40 years.
Now hold on, Adam. In defense of Ron DeSantis, no, I'm kidding. That's not how I was going to begin here. But you're actually right that you're pointing out a trend in modern politics right now, where Republicans are taking a hacksaw to any wokes. They're like, woke schools, no. Woke teachers, no. Woke classrooms, no. Woke military, no. And I'm like, wait, you want to cut the military because it's too woke? Okay, let's walk this line out a little bit more.
Sure, but they'll of course never do that, right?
Of course. But I to your serious point, this is all downstream from working class. It always is, because when they're trying to other and groom people out, it's all about creating a certain society in which they like. And it's easy to point at trans people because a lot of folks unfortunately don't understand that experience. But as soon as it gets easy to point to, and it will be, just give it a couple news cycles, people who are unhoused, who are for all different kinds of colors, they will be demonized just as well. So
yeah, I mean, the silver lining for me in this whole story is that it shows actually just how much issues around historic racism, the fallout from years of Jim Crow, right? The struggle for reparations, struggle for trans rights, struggle for gay rights, all of these struggles, right? All the around labor rights, that shit is breaking through, that new and young generations are incredibly receptive and engaged and do believe in those things. And like, I mean, come on, we just talked about the defund the police movement. We talked about the George Floyd movement. Look at the makeup of them. We understand the comparison between who voted for Clinton in 2016 and who voted for Bernie Sanders. Overwhelmingly millennials, and of course Gen Z, more and more and more as they grow into voting age. So it's just like, it's a last gasp. Like, I have felt that the MAGA movement is a last gasp. I don't know who will win. The villain may still win, but it is because our ideas are actually better and are gaining ground. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuationroom. Do it.